It is no secret, AI is coming for everything. It is coming for every single business. And if you don't get set up with AI, you're going to be massively left behind. So what I wanted to do is walk you through, we've created a plugin that is going to interview you on your business. It's going to understand your business, your problems, things that you do for your customers, and it's going to come up with an option of a product that you could build to help you build your product using AI. Now, it can be incredibly confusing to figure out how to get set up with AI, what tools to use, and generally a lot of people who are watching this may even be using tools like Claude Code. They may have even started building, even started building something with Claude Code, but the likelihood is whatever sort of team you are, wherever you are in your process, you're finding it very difficult to keep track of what AI is doing and what it has built in your business. So I'm going to show you exactly how to solve all of that. I'm going to cut through all the noise and make things very, very easy for you. So I'm going to show you how to install this plugin, and I'm going to show you how to get set up with Claude Code as well, for those of you who aren't set up with Claude Code. And I'm going to show you how you can actually start to visualize everything that you are building using CodeSpring. So if I just log into my CodeSpring account here, you'll be able to see this is what we're going to kind of get to. Every product, every tool that we design for our business. We have people who design products horizontally into their business. So they build new products to cross-sell to existing customers. We also have people who design products that just internally used inside the business. But instead of looking at terrifying code, you can see how your entire project goes together, mapped out inside CodeSpring like this, which is very, very cool. So we'll get to that in just a minute, but I'm going to show you how to get set up with everything first of all. So the first thing you need to do is download Claude Desktop. That's option number 1. This is going to just click on this and just follow the download instructions, and it's going to take you to an app that looks like this. So we're just going to start a new session. This is what Claude Code is. It is basically, you have options up here for chat, co-work, and code. We're just going to focus on code today. And then all you need to do is select a folder that you're working in. Okay, so for example, if I come to Finder, I just have this folder here called test code, and there's nothing in it for the sake of this tutorial. Then I can just say to it, for example, can you create me a folder and just write a short 2-line story in there for me? Let's change that to a file. And we'll send that through. Now, what Claude Code can actually do is create files. It can write files. It can put stuff into files. It's a very, very powerful tool. So you'll see here, in a second, a file is going to appear, and it's going to put some content into it. So you can see it's just created story.txt, and it's written a story for me. Okay, and all you need to do is click on this, and you can see how it's edited that file. So we'll come back to using this tool in a minute, because the other option, which is the better option, is you use it inside a terminal. So in order to do this, now most people are going to say, I'm just going to use the app on the computer because it's better, or it seems simpler and easier. I would recommend just sit through watching the tutorial of this. You don't have to do this, but if you sit through this, it's going to help you a lot, because this is a lot better way of using Claude Code than using it through this. You'll get a lot more out of it, and it really isn't, it's not difficult to learn. It's the same thing, it just looks a little bit more scary. That's the only difference. So you're going to copy this code here, you're going to go to download cursor, okay, and you're going to click download for Mac OS and follow the install instructions, okay? And then when you open Cursor, this is what you're going to see. It's going to greet you with a window that looks like this. Okay, this is what we call an IDE, and it just makes it very easy for you to see what files you have and what's in those files. So what we're going to do is click on Open Project, and we're just going to go to our test code project, and we're going to open it like this. I'm just going to go ahead and close this window, and you can see now I have that file that we created earlier. So it's just a file manager. Okay, all it is here. I can see the file. It's the same file, but I can actually click on it and I can see it. Now the benefit is at the bottom here we have a terminal. Now if yours isn't showing, you just click on New Terminal. So terminal at the top here, New Terminal, and then you'll have something that looks like this. So all you need to do now is come back to the tutorial, scroll down, and you're going to copy this command here, and you're going to paste it into your terminal. Seems confusing, it seems terrifying. Trust me, it could not be simpler. Just paste it in. A lot of people overthink this stage. They think it's terrifying. They think I'm going to break something. They think, oh, this is too technical for me. I need to be a developer. For some reason, as soon as somebody mentions terminals, our brains turn off. It's really not complicated, but if you can sit through this, it'll really, really help you. So just hit enter, and it's going to go ahead and install it for you. It may take a couple of minutes to do it. I'm just going to not do that because I've already got it installed. The next thing we're going to do is just run Claude. So once it's finished doing that, doing its thing, you'll see some stuff comes out here, and it'll probably tell you it's installed. You then just run Claude. Okay, so the easiest way to do this, you can just type, okay? You just use your keyboard, and you just type stuff. So I'm going to type in here, Claude. And now I've opened up this thing, which again looks absolutely terrifying, but don't worry, it's simple, okay? Because I can say in here, we have a file called story.txt. Can you just change it and write a small 2-line poem in there for me? And it's exactly the same as when we use it inside the app, okay? Because you can see here I gave it a question, and here we just give it a similar question. It'll read the file, it'll write the file, so just like this, created story, writes the file, done, it's replaced the story. Now we can click on this, and we can see now it's changed the story into a poem. But the difference is now we can click on this, we can see the changes it's made, and we can also see what it's doing. And that's all it is. It's exactly the same as what we can see inside here, it's just here instead, okay? So this is the better way of using Claude Code. Now, once we've done this, the next thing we need to do is come back to the website. Oh, by the way, the website is linked down below in the description. We want to go ahead and we want to copy this command. So we're now on step 3. Now, what a lot of people make a mistake of doing here is they come to their terminal, and if you click on terminal at the top here, and then click on new terminal, you'll notice on the right-hand side we have this ZSH thing, and then we have this number. This number is actually called Claude Code. It's actually just Claude Code running, okay? What you don't want to do is just paste this into the actual terminal. Okay, if you need to rewatch that, just go back and rewatch it, because it's not going to work. You're going to see errors like this. Now, we do have a lot of edge cases. If you do run into troubleshooting problems, I will show you how to fix them as well. But what you actually want to do is come to your Claude Code chat, right, where and I recommend, right, you just follow what I did here. Is just tell it to create a file and write a story in it. If you run this /plugin marketplace add Volkis CodeSpring plugin, it's going to tell you that it successfully added it. If it didn't work for you, leave a comment down below of the problems that you ran into and we'll fix it, but also I will run through some troubleshooting things for you as well in just a second. The next thing we need to do is do plugin install. Actually, let's just check on the troubleshooting. If something doesn't work, when you click install, run this command, npm install all of this sort of stuff. Make sure you upgrade to the latest version of Claude Code if you're already using Claude Code, or you can use this to upgrade. If it's not found, you can run this command, and then you can run this command. Okay, so for example, you could do this, marketplace list, and then you can see here I've got my CodeSpring plugin already installed, and then you can just go ahead and you can run this and it should then install it for you. Okay, so now I'm going to come back to this install guide, and we're going to go ahead and now run this command here, and we're actually going to install it. Okay, because we've added it. Now mine's already installed, but yours should then go ahead and install it. Could not be simpler. Now all we need to do is do this command, paste it in here, reload plugins, okay? And now it should have loaded up for you. So the next thing we need to do is copy this command, and then we're going to run this, and this is really where the magic starts to happen, because we are going to be able to start figuring out what we need to have inside our business, what we need to be building with AI. And we've designed this plugin to interview and figure out everything that it needs, and it stores all the information for you, so you can go back and have a look at it inside CodeSpring. So it may install some stuff for you, and it's going to install a connection that means you can talk directly to CodeSpring. I'll explain exactly what that means and how that works in a minute. Next thing we need to do is copy this thing here, and we can just, actually I think this works if we just paste it back inside this chatbot here. Just click on this, and it will open up this pop-up here. And all you need to do now is go ahead and create an account inside CodeSpring. So I've already got an account. I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. So just like that, I have now just logged into my account. I'll come back to here and give this a second and see if it actually notices. If this doesn't actually work, all you need to do is just press escape on your keyboard, and then just hit enter, and it should then log in for you. So now you can see we've actually logged into CodeSpring. Okay, so this is basically going to be our place where we can start storing the different projects that we build with AI. So every time you build something with AI, instead of being terrified by this, you can have a full visual map of what you've built. But what we really need to do is if we run /onboarding, okay, and the way I did that is I did / and you can see onboarding comes up, but if I just search onboarding and then I hit tab, it pre-fills it, and we're going to hit enter. And now it's going to continue, and it's going to pick up from where we left off. So it's going to start asking us questions. So it knows that we're connected to CodeSpring first. Now it's going to say, question 1 of 7, what does your business do? Give it a clear information on what it does. So I'm going to say, we basically help companies onboard into AI and build apps and agents and systems into their business using AI. And we have a visual editor software that helps them do that. It's called CodeSpring. And then basically just the more information you give this, the better it's going to be. Okay, so got it. And all of this, by the way, is stored locally on your computer. So CodeSpring helps companies onboard into AI and build apps, etc. Question 2 of 7, what are your customers, who pays you? We mostly work with small businesses. We work with agencies. Most businesses we work with have less than 5 employees. We don't usually work with big enterprise clients. but they usually pay us a monthly subscription to use our software. We also have an Ascension layer where we upsell people from our software into onboarding them into AI and building tools and systems for them. Send that through. And this is all you're doing. It's just asking you questions. But the benefit of this is it's probing you rather than you having to tell it. It's asking you the questions. And we've planned out these questions very specifically. What are you trying to build right now? An app, an internal tool? To be honest with you, I don't really know what I'm doing. I've only just installed Claude Code for the first time. I've got a CodeSpring account, but I don't know what it is. I don't know how it works. I'm just getting started. Okay. And we're going to send that through, and it's going to sort of start to figure out how to do things. No worries. That's exactly what this onboarding is for. Question 4. What's the most annoying manual process in your business right now? Right now, we have a big issue where we need to automate and make it easier for us to run monthly community calls with our users to let them know about new features that we've launched and just making sure that people are trained on how to use our software product. That's why I make these YouTube videos. And now it's going to take that information. It's going to say, cool, are you working on this alone? I have a team. I have 2 developers. I have a tech guy who does support, so he could probably do the customer calls. And then I have somebody who manages customer support through emails. Just give it as much information as you can. And you know, the more information you give it, the better the result's going to be. Have you tried building this before? What happened? We haven't actually tried building this before. The difficult part is just pulling everything together, building a community. How do we get people who are already using the software into the community, and just basically making sure that they can see all the updates, see all the training documents and materials and everything like that. One more question, and it will then tell us what we should build. What tech tools are you comfortable with? I'll be honest with you, I'm not very comfortable with Claude Code because I've just started using it. I've heard a lot about it and it seems like a very good tool. I'm going to keep using it because obviously I'm using it talking to you here. It seems like the best way to use it. But I'm not technical. I have no idea how to build anything, how to code. I've never built an app in my life. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of information inside Linear. And then we also have customer calls as well that we record on Firefly. Okay, now what it's saying is that's everything I need. Let me set this up for you. You don't need to be technical. He'll handle all of the building for us. So what it's going to start doing is it's going to create a file here called CodeSpring Business Context. And this is stored on your computer. Okay, so this is like what your business is, who your customers are, what you're building, pain points, stuff about your team, previous attempts, and technical comfort. So then it means that everything that you design and build from now on will be much easier for you to build. Now you can see what it's done here is if we come back into CodeSpring and we refresh, it's actually created a product for us. So we come into here and we can actually start to see the way that it's thinking. It's mapping things out for us. So if you just keep clicking refresh, it's now figured out, okay, this is the product we're going to build. It's CodeSpring Community Hub. It's a platform for our users to see monthly calls. These are the features that we're going to have. So moderation, search, notifications, a training library for all of our stuff, monthly community calls, and all of this is just mapping out everything that we need. It's probably doing some more stuff now. It's adding notes on how everything works, so just like that. And by the way, if you click this auto layout button here, it just keeps things a bit more organized. So auto import existing users, connects to Firefly's meeting recordings. When the developer team ships a feature, post here and trigger emails. That's quite cool. And it's going to figure out how to build everything for us. And it's literally just mapping it out. And what's better, like, for you? Do you think it's better to have everything like this in a chat, that when we just restart this, we've lost everything? Or now we can see everything being stored inside CodeSpring for us? Much better, right? It's much better on how to build all of this stuff. Now let me update the Claude Code automatically. So what you'll need to do now is every time you want to start building, you'll want to say, okay, use CodeSpring. But it's actually come up with an idea of a product for us to build. I didn't say to it, I want to build this hub. It asked me what the biggest problem was, and it said, let's build this app. So now we've actually designed what is the app that we're actually going to build. We can continue planning inside CodeSpring. Okay. Now we don't have to be sitting inside Claude Code to do all the planning for us. It depends. You can use it, or you can use. We've got a chatbot in here. It depends what you're more comfortable with. Now we actually already have a starter code base as well, and you can see here it's just duplicated the starter code base, so it's going to get everything set up for you. So now we can actually start building the app because we've already got the code base created. It's got everything in it, and we'll make some video tutorials on how to do this. But this is what you get with the CodeSpring plugin for free as well, and it will import this code base for you. Everything is being mapped in here. It knows exactly, okay, this is what we're building. It's figured out the tech stack and everything, and it's just basically updating on here all of the different features and figuring out out, okay, how are we going to build the app? So the way CodeSpring works, right, is you have, this is your product, these are the core features that you have, and then these are the notes that explain how each of those features work. And then we can actually add more information, we can go in here and we can describe more things, and then once we're ready, we can turn these into Kanban tasks, and then we can get the AI to build them. So let's just see what this has come up with. If you press Command B on your keyboard, by the way, you can show and hide this thing, or you can just click this little toggle up here, and you can see the files. So here's what it's done, okay? You're all set. CodeSpring Community Hub is ready to go. It's just got a bit of a description of all of the different features that it's created and it's planned, and then it's created all different files. I want to keep going. The natural next step is for me to install the dependencies in the boilerplate and start building. So it wants to start building, but we're not going to start building right now. We're going to come into CodeSpring, and I'm just going to refresh this, and I'm just going to say, for example, I want to figure out how the feature update feed is going to work. So I'm going to right click on this feature, click on add to context, and I'm going to say, how do we actually build this feature? Because our software doesn't have like an API or anything that we can connect to that can tell people the new updates. So it can't really do it automatically. But what would be good is if we can just maybe we can connect it to the GitHub, maybe, of our product. So when we push updates, and then we have an admin panel or something that can then tell our users what the updates that we've done. So it has to go through approval first. And we can hit enter. And actually, this is now going to give us, let's just auto lay this out and click save. This is now going to help us design features, okay? So we have our own agent in here. So once we start designing and building stuff, we can then get Claude Code ready to start building it. So let me just pause this for a second. And this is going to read everything that we've already started to plan from our onboarding session. It's going to get full understanding of what we're building. And now what it's going to do is it's going to start adding sub-features. So these sub-features basically explain how that feature is actually going to work. So for example, we're working on the feature updates feed. Let's just auto lay this out. We're making it easier for you to navigate. And now it's going to start adding notes on... It's going to start adding notes on how each of these features work. Usually auto layout I would only do once this is finished doing its stuff, because it keeps resetting position. So you can see here, approval, workflow notes. So what I recommend you do is you go through and you read and just make sure all of this is correct, right? Because this is going to do quite a good job of creating and adding stuff to the mind map for you and plans, but you just need to make sure, like, it's going to take some creative liberties and it's going to add things that you may not want it to add. So I'm going to come in here and I can see, okay, how is this going to work? Well, it's going to connect to the GitHub. It's going to create update drafts from GitHub. So auto-generate draft entries by reading GitHub, admin review and approval, published updates and feed, user notifications, training resources. This all looks correct to me. And then these things here are usually meant for the AI to figure out how to build it. But what we're going to do now is that we're going to say, okay, I assume that this is good enough and ready to build. Okay, I'm happy with this. So I'm going to come back to the feature that I was working on, which is this one. Okay, and I'm going to add this to context with a right click, and I'm going to say, I think I'm ready to start building this feature first. Can you create some Kanban tasks to help me build it? And actually what we can also do is you can create what's called a product requirement doc. So you click on this plus button here, and you do generate PRD, and we click auto layout. We can actually generate documentation that tells the AI exactly how to build the feature. So we know, okay, here's what we're building, and now our system is going to figure out how to actually build that thing for you. So you can see how this just becomes a lot easier for you to start understanding how to put things together and how to design apps without you having to without you really having to learn how to code or do anything like that. We've given you a full boilerplate. So this has got a lot of the code already written for you. So for example, user and databases and accounts and stuff. And the onboarding system will actually help you get set up. Will actually help you with setting up databases and all of those things and getting your app deployed. And actually what we're going to do, so once this has created the back-end product requirement doc, you could create one for front-end and database design as well, but for now I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to get started with this because I want to demonstrate what you would do next once you've got this done. Now, don't rush this phase. A lot of people will just sort of whistle through this and they'll be like, okay, I'm done. What you want to do is to spend as much time planning out how all of your features work. The more context you can put in here and the more leverage and control that you put over it, right, is the better you're going to have, right? And what I would sometimes recommend to people is if you're not sure, like, okay, I don't want to read all of this text, I would just click on this, add it to context, And then I would just say something like, okay, so this is just roughly how I want the feature to work, talk it through, and then send it, and then say, can you just make sure that this is all aligned for me? And then our agent will just make sure this is all updated for you. So everything's just done through a chatbot. Very, very simple and easy to do. I'm just going to say, for example, let's just send that through now. And you can also set it up as well. So we have integrations, which you'll see on the side panel when you get set up. So you can actually integrate with like Notion, for example. You can get this thing to read directly from GitHub. So we can actually connect everything here directly to the GitHub repo of whatever we're building. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start designing Kanban features. So you can see just like that, we now have 11 tasks for us to complete to start building. Now, the best news is because we've already used the little onboarding thing, this is now already connected to this. So all we need to do here is we could say, okay, we've just added some more context on what we want to build. Can you just look for some of the latest updates and tell me what tasks that we need to complete to build this? And now this is going to go ahead and it's going to read, okay, there's 14 different tasks on what we need to build. And it's going to basically read it and figure out, okay, what is in here that's different to what I had last time? And then from that, it's going to then put it all in here and then it's going to tell us, okay, well, you've actually added this new feature and you've got these sub-features and these are the different tasks that we're working on. So a lot of this seems very, very complicated, but actually it isn't, right? Actually, like, it's not complicated. It's just saying, okay, I have now got a full visual plan of what I'm building, and I just get the AI to build it for me. Okay, so you can see here we've created 8 sub-features. So we've worked on the feature update feed. So it knows what we've updated. Connect GitHub repos, create update drafts, admin review, all of these different things here. So if I look at this one here, connect GitHub repos. If I come back to my mind map, connect GitHub repos, create update drafts from GitHub, create update drafts from GitHub, admin review and approval, all of these things, okay? Total estimated 12 days for development. What I'd do first, if your goal is to set something useful in the front of your customers fast, start with phase 1. So it's broken up into various different phases. And then all we could do is just say, okay, so can you start building this into the starter template that we already have? Again, I'm just assuming that you know everything here, and this is all going to work for me. And then, yeah, go ahead and build it. And then all you need to do is just do that, and it will go ahead and start building it. And what will happen is, I'll just show you a demonstration of, because I'm not going to build it on this tutorial to waste your time, but can you just go ahead and just move all of those tasks to done inside CodeSpring once you've completed them as well? Okay, and that's what you would probably say, but it would actually automatically go ahead and mark them off as done. So I'm just going to say mark them as done inside CodeSpring, and what will happen is when you tell Claude Code, can you actually now build based off this plan? What it will do is it will just tick off these tasks and move them around, okay? So now this is just reading from the plan. So what's very, very important here is to remember this is your source of truth. This is basically what your app is and how you're building your app, okay? This is explaining literally everything about what I want my app to do. You design it all in here and spend some time thinking about it, okay? Read everything. And the biggest mistake people make who use CodeSpring is they just let this get on with it, and then they get angry and they shout at this because this hasn't done it correctly. It's because you need to read, right? You have to read what it's created and keep track of everything and make sure it's good. I mean, AI isn't a super intelligent being, but it's done a pretty good job of helping you figure out what features. And if you don't understand it or you're not happy with it, just add it to context, and then go ahead and ask it and just tell it to update things. And I would just work your way through. Okay, work your way down from the first feature all the way down to the end. You could even start a new chat. So you can start a new chat like this. Oh, by the way, let's just go into the Kanban and let's just see what this has done. So it says it's moved all tasks to done. So just refresh CodeSpring. Come into the Kanban, and now it's marked all tasks as done. Now, obviously, we haven't actually built anything here, but if it had actually built it, it would have just marked them off. So, for example, if we had some of these done and some of these in progress, let's just put some like this, I could come back to this a few weeks later, and I could start a completely fresh chat. And I could say, we're currently building an app inside, I've got it in my CodeSpring thing, it's called CodeSpring Community Hub. Where did we get to yesterday, and what do we need to finish building? How much have we got left to do? Okay, because what happens as you start to use AI is the more and more information that you put into the chat, like for example in this chat here, the more information we put in here, you can see we've already used 13% of the context. It's going to start forgetting things. When we use 100%, i.e. when we've sent too many messages, it's going to compact everything and start a new chat, so it may forget stuff. Whereas now, this knows exactly what we're working on. Okay, it can read, well, we've got 3 tasks to do and 2 of them are still in progress. Okay, and Claude Code can actually go ahead and it can make changes and update and add information to these. So it can add notes to each of the tasks. So you can see here, 14 tasks. Total, we've done 9 of them. 2 of them are in progress and 3 are left to do. So we're 64% complete on this feature. Okay, can you just go ahead and, just for argument's sake, prove, I want to show people how this works. Can you go ahead and, in the approve and publish flow with audit trail task, I don't really know what it's about, but can you just add some more context in there on what's left to be done and just tick off, just add some more tasks on what needs to be done? And it will go ahead and it will add more information to this. And you can come in here and you can manually set priority, the estimation of how long things are going to take, and you can actually see what feature it's actually linked to. Okay, so it's really powerful for keeping track of what's been built, what hasn't been built, what do you need to build, but also being able to see, you know, this is what my app is that I'm designing. So you can just continue logging in every day and designing new features. So I'm going to end the tutorial there, and hopefully that helps you guys figure out, okay, here's how to get set up with AI, here's what you need to build, and obviously, you know, we'd love for you to use CodeSpring. We really think it's going to help you guys. If you have any questions at all within CodeSpring, when you're on the Pro plan, you can always book a call as well with Hussein, who will actually walk you through getting set up with CodeSpring and any questions that you have. We do lots of calls with our customers. We also do monthly live calls where we train you on AI, how to use software, how to build stuff inside your app, how to use Claude Code. We also have a very, very exciting new feature coming out, which I don't know if I have it open. Let me show you a new feature. We are designing a new system that makes it easier for you to design new features as well. So once you have the plan of what you've built, once you have your mind map, you will be able to design new features. And the way this works is you can pick a project, you could then select the project that you're building, and then from that project, so for example, I don't know, like if I'm building an app, right, CodeSpring, for example, these projects here would be the projects that you're currently working on. And then you can say, okay, now I've got this project, I want to design a new feature. And what I want to do is I probably want to pull context in from Firefly meetings. I've had a Firefly meeting with a customer, pick a recording, and add that in here. I also actually have some stuff saved in Linear. So I'm going to connect Linear, and I have a project that I'm working on, which I want to pull that information in to help me design a feature. Oh, and also tell you what I want to do is if I go on to Dribble, there's a UI of something that I like. So actually, this UI here contains, this is a very good structure of what I want my app to look like. I don't want the UI to look like that, but the layout I think is really good. So I'm going to come to here, and I'm just going to drop the image in here like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this in, and this it doesn't exist yet. This is in early testing, but you'll be able to have access to this when you grab a CodeSpring subscription. I'm going to add it as reference material, but I'm going to say actually I don't want to use this as style reference. The layout is what I want. So I want to say the app that we're building, this new feature, I want it to look like this, but not the colors. I just want to basically copy the layout and structure. And then maybe actually if I come back to here, I decide that I want to use this style. This is kind of the UI that I want. So I can take a screenshot of that. I can come into here and I can drag this image in, and I can say, actually, let's add this to our style guide, and we can say, I want to use this for style reference. So extract the colors and the style of this is what we want to use for our feature. And then I could maybe say, oh, I don't know, I want to have, let's just, I don't know, here's a competitor, right? Let's just actually delete that and say, there's a competitor that exists called Linear, right? And I want to copy that, and I want to paste this in here, and we're going to just drag this as context, and we're going to plug that in, and we're going to say here, this customer has just launched a new feature called Linear Next. It's an AI agent. That's basically what we want to build for our app. Maybe we want to do other things, right? And once we've done all of that, we've got everything mapped out, we can then design the feature, and it's going to tell us, okay, these are the different features that we want. And then we can say, actually, now what we want to do is map the user journey. So how is a user going to use all of these different features? And maybe we have an existing feature that we think a user would probably could actually work with this. So let's just come on and select this feature from our app, and we click on map journey, and you can see this is how the user journey works. So how a user would go through and start planning your app. So now we can start to visualize and see how to actually build up different features. Now, this feature isn't live yet, but it is coming out very, very soon. What we're actually going to do now is I'm going to show you, because we can also do this, and we can do UI Designer. And actually what's probably better is let's just disconnect these two. We don't want these connected. And let's just connect these to the UI Designer. because this will become a specialist UI designer for us. Grab that. And let's grab that in here. And we're going to say this first one's going to be layout reference. And we're going to get it to design the UI. And this is a mock-up, but it's going to create an actual UI mock-up for what we want this feature to look like. And then we can actually connect this UI mock-up into the feature. So when we design the feature, right, we can delete all of this stuff. And we can actually design the features again based off that new thing there. And that's kind of what we're working on right now with CodeSpring. There's a load of stuff that we are building and making it better and easier for you to design new features. And you can map these features directly into what you've already planned and built. Now, if you want to grab access to this full suite of tools, we have loads of other things like competitor research. We do monthly live calls with our entire community. You can book in a call with Hussein. He'll help you get set up with AI. You can get access to all of this for just £49 per month. You can click on this button here, change your plan, come onto monthly and grab access to £49 a month for the pro plan to get access to literally everything that I've just showed you. Full suite of tools. If you work with your business and you have employees in your business, we also have, let me show you my other account. Let me just log out. We also have a full business plan as well, which lets you work and invite team members or clients. So if you're trying to design out to clients or you have multiple people working for you, you can all work in the same organization. So you can see here I've got an organization for CodeSpring and I have 3 people invited into my organization, and you can create various teams for them, and you get up to 10 people and 100,000 credits per month with the business plan. So click the link down below, go ahead and get started with installing this plugin. And if you would like to grab a CodeSpring subscription, you can go to codespring.app and go ahead, and I'll just put the link here as well, codespring.app. And go ahead and create your account and get started with CodeSpring. You guys have been absolutely awesome. Hopefully you get started with AI. If you need any more videos or tutorials, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and let me know if there's any other questions that you have you would like us to make videos on for you.